All right, I'm gonna open up the Redevelopment Authority meeting at 6:01. First on the agenda is review and possible vote on the code of conduct and social media of the conduct. I think that's done wrong, but that's okay. It was wrong. I did try to get them emailed to everybody. I only saw it this morning, I apologize. So they are in your packet for review. Nothing has changed from last year when we looked at these, to best of my recollection. I'm looking for input from
I think the last changes of the code of conduct in March.
Oh,
Yeah,
Right,
right.
that's about right.
She transcribed it.
Let's do the one at a time would be great. So the code of conduct, what's the flavor of the board? What's comments, concerns?
Well, I made all the changes, I think.
Yeah.
I believe I was the one. And the committee at the point in time didn't have any other changes. It had to go back to be, I think, Susan, I think you were the one that helped transcribe everything that was there. And my input, which was the changes that the committee never said aye, yea, or nay on, but was okay with. And so we haven't approved it. It was voted on February 6th, that particular draft. That's that. Then the other one's the social media. We didn't have any
So
real
let's
problems.
let's do one at a time. Let's start with the code of conduct,
Okay.
so that way we don't jump around. What's the flavor of the board?
Well, I made all the changes and the board seemed to go along with it. I read it before I came to the meeting and compared it, and everything was what it was. So for this year, you want to approve it, I thought, because the minutes, I wanted to make sure in the minutes, it said that every year during the reorganizational, we would obviously bring this up and look at it and make some changes. So, well, we already had the organizational meeting, but now we'd have to at least
Is that in your
approve
motion to approve and to adopt?
them. So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion, thank you.
Everyone knows my opinion on that. So anything that violates the First Amendment right to freedom of speech,
Bob loves
I-
it, so.
I disagree with. So
Did you have any comments on it other than?
no, it's going to get voted in anyway. So
I'd still appreciate your comments.
no, it's fine. I've made my comments before already. So
Yeah, he
no
did.
sense rehashing it.
Yeah. Miss Sharon?
I have no issue with this.
Okay.
I'm the same way. We went over this pretty thoroughly last year and got it to a place where we were,
Yeah.
for the most part, happy with it.
Yeah. Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve and adopt the code of conduct for the redevelopment authority. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
No.
No. Those abstained? None. So approved. Next would be the social media code of conduct. That was in your packet also. I'll entertain a motion to adopt and approve and to adopt.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made in second. Discussion.
I disagree for the same reasons as the other one. But we
I
already discussed
just
many
want it on
times.
record,
There
that's
you
all.
go.
Thank you, Bob. Ms. Sharon? Do you have anything?
I mean, again, I have no issue with these at all. I don't think that a board member can take a position before anything's been discussed or, if it's contrary to what the board has voted, then the term, I'm a member of the RDA and I voted against it and this, that, and the other. I mean, there are gonna be times when I disagree with whatever the board votes on.
It's true.
But once it's done, I back the vote of the board, and, I mean, I'm not a member of any of these groups, so I don't blog. But I also don't like to see other people maligning or you know, false news or things like that. And whether you adopt these or not, from my understanding, we don't have any teeth in it. It's just a code of conduct. It's a policy.
It's a policy.
Right.
I mean, I don't believe that there's any way to put any teeth in it that I understand, so.
I don't, I mean, but you have no problem from me.
Mr. Moore?
This again is what we looked at last year. The only thing, and frankly I haven't done anything about it in the last year or so, I think this is slanted a lot more towards blogging than responding to other forms of social media. And I think kind of in the world today that things have turned. I think blogging is kind of passé, and it seems as though that Facebook, especially in this town, is where a lot of the action happens. And I mean, it's on here, the request number 5, code of conduct when using any form of social media. My question to you, sir, is there a town employee code of conduct regarding social media? If you are you?
Well, I'm exposed to one, but I do know that other boards and commissions in town have a similar policy in place and have ratified that policy. We have a computer use policy as employees.
Okay.
We're supposed to do those kinds of things during normal business hours anyhow. Outside of hours, I'm not aware of any policy.
All right. I believe that that especially with number 5 in here, it covers what I'm concerned with. It just seems to be very slanted towards blogging, which I don't know how much that happens anymore in this town. So I'm fine with it because it does address Facebook, but I think that maybe at some point
We should change it.
we should look at it a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Change
I
it
think it
to
was
specifically
geared toward
posts.
fixedcopy.com. I think that's where this was.
It may
Is
have
that a
been.
blog? Those are blogs? Okay.
City plans. Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
If I may contribute?
Yep.
Upon reading of that as well, I just want to echo Mr. Moore's comments. I was also a bit stunned as in blogging particularly, and I kind of went through an emotional or a mental exercise, whether or not someone actually has an online journal or are they contributing to Facebook feeds, and there is a certain distinction between those two things. And the blogger gets to control all of the content and exercise administrative controls, and in the other, social media, Twitter, etc., the contributor really only has control over what he or she posts, and sometimes doesn't have control or administrative rights over the vein or the string of conversation. But there is decidedly a distinction between blogging and other social media outlets.
True. Well noted. Ms. Joanna?
No, I'll go along with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with everything that everybody said. I have nothing other than that.
Any other comments, concern? There's a motion and a second to adopt the code of conduct for social media. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those
No.
opposed? One no is for. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Next, forestry process and next step. So, from what I understand, that there is no purchase and sales on the property. There is no interested party. So, I am not in conflict.
Okay.
That being said, our next step for the forestry property process was 2 things. There was a process that we were supposed to put this out on the,
Central Register.
thank you very much, I drew a blank. Is that the will of the board to keep moving in that process or not?
I don't think we have first of all, if we're gonna sell the property, and I think we kind of all agreed we wanna sell this property,
That's me.
we have no choice.
My phone.
Okay, I didn't know what it was.
That is where, what was given to us for the proper procedures, so.
Right.
I'll make that motion, we put it on the Central Register.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to put the forestry property on the central registry. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor to put that on the central registry, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Okay, so there was one thing that we needed. We had a contract with Century 21.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that contract? I need to get that to Miss Deneen so she can put it in our records to have it as documentation. We don't have any of that. Do a copy of it's fine. If you want to keep the original, it doesn't matter.
Is this one?
It's for our minutes and our documents
okay. All right,
to
yeah.
be placed in.
I just didn't hear the name. The name didn't
Deb
register.
Deneen is
Okay,
the
Deb, okay.
administrative assistant.
I know in my head, sorry.
Thank you. Did you need copies of it?
I don't really.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, as it is, it runs out on July 10th anyway.
It's just for documents
Right,
that we need to
yeah.
have.
So the 6 months that we signed up for it ends in less than a month, so.
So, we're gonna put it on the central registry. What's the plan and the will of the board? I don't know what you guys discussed other than what I saw on the video of where the price was, what the process was and stuff like that. If we're gonna go to the central registry, we gotta have a price in mind for this property. And I don't know where, off the top of my head, I don't know what the price was.
You don't make the price, it gets appraised.
We get an appraisal.
You have to get an
Right.
appraisal. And you choose either an outside appraiser or one downstairs, which is the assessor, downstairs, upstairs? Upstairs,
assessor.
the assessor. So you have a choice, one of those two.
Okay.
Right, it doesn't require a full appraisal. It requires someone with knowledge to come up with what they feel is fair market value for that piece. And then it's up to us, I believe, as a board, whether to go with that or make it higher. And I think if after a certain amount of time, if there is no action on that, we have the authority to accept any offer.
Right.
You know, we can eliminate the low offer and accept anything, you know, within reason, obviously.
Okay.
So I guess we should try to decide: do we want to get a real assessor, or do we want, I mean, a real appraiser, or do we want to ask the town assessor to do that?
Town assessor's free, the other one, do you have anybody? How will we, don't even have an inkling on an outside appraiser.
Well, my opinion would be is, I'm not sure how good of appraisal we'll get from them upstairs. Do we want to seek their opinion first, and then if we don't like it, then we go ahead and research a separate appraisal for it?
Yeah.
And
That's a good idea.
Ask for bids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to see who wants to do it. I mean, I think we want to limit the costs of how much it costs for us to go through the process.
So just so everybody knows, we have the MOU, whatever we expenditure for fees will come back on the sale of the property to us, plus our administrative costs. I tend to agree with you, Bob, that I don't know, with the changes that have been done upstairs, what their expertise on the appraisal would be. For our due diligence, I believe that we should have maximize the benefit and the appraisal value, like
Yeah.
we try to do on everything else.
Right.
But I'm at the will of the board, whatever the board wants to do.
Yeah, okay, as far as going on the outside, my recommendation, I would just talk to Brenda Titus. She appraises all her houses. She has somebody, either they do it or she does it with her. Do we have to give proof of Savory of an appraiser? Is there
No,
anything
it's,
in there?
I'm looking for that, but it does say here that the board may, but is not obligated to establish a minimum bid for the property to be sold.
Prior to going on the central registry. Do I understand that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, well, that makes sense.
This is the Board of Selectmen are required to issue a request, an RFP, which must be formally advertised. Let's see. This is all conveyanced by the town, correct?
Right,
that
are you
would be-
on number 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the Board of Selectmen in disposing of property by sale is required to determine the value of the property through procedures customarily accepted by the appraising profession as valid. Does not require that the board engage a professional outside appraiser, only that valid appraising procedures be used. The town assessor could apply such procedures and determine the value of the property. So we can go with Bob's suggestion, ask the assessor to do that using the common procedures. See what that number comes back at, and then we do have the option of accepting it or making that a minimum bid.
Seeking for a different appraisal.
Yep, but we do have to put out an RFP once that number is determined.
Established.
Right, and we have to advertise it, and it is on the central registry. It has to be on the central register 30 days before the opening of the RFP.
Okay.
So,
Oh, we have to advertise 30 days, okay.
What's your thoughts on that? Still the
Yeah.
same?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see what they come up with, to see how close they are to what numbers that we put out there for the prices of it, and if they come up higher or lower for it. Because there has been some commercial sales within the past couple of years to go back for. Corvette Mike's was for sale, so they have that one. Then the ice cream shop there, that one was sold too.
That was a while ago.
I know that was a while ago, but
Still moving the
it's
property.
still, yeah, and it's commercial
and in that area.
in that area too,
Yeah.
so even though it's a few years old, you don't, you said you only have a few spots that's been sold. Actually, the guy owns the auto repair.
The auto repair and
place.
print shop.
Yeah, that
There's
one
a
there,
owner.
that one too, so there is a few over there.
Yep. Ms. Sharon, do you have any comment?
No, I think going to the free local is better first. I think they have to keep track of sales, so if they use that as their comparison, much the same as anyone else would do an appraisal with comps, they'll probably come up with a suggested number. I mean, I don't think they base it solely on what it's appraised at for tax purposes, which often doesn't quite make the same number. But sure, that's,
Any
Ask
other
them first.
questions on that, concerns, entertain a vote
I'll make a motion that we send this appraisal up to the assessor to see if she can assess for it and see what she needs for information for these, whether she needs the plot plan.
That's a problem, though. We don't have any of that stuff anymore. All the stuff that engineer did for us, we don't know where it's gone.
I don't know what Marlene did with it, so I
Mhm.
have no idea.
We don't even know if Brenda
rolled
has
up.
it.
It was rolled up.
It was rolled
That's the
up?
last time I saw it.
It was rolled down?
No, it was rolled up
Up, oh.
with an elastic. Boom. It
so
was
it
in that
should be in
office.
Stephen's office somewhere.
So, there's a motion, do I have a second to send it up to the assessor's office for appraisal?
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor to send it up to the assessor's office for appraisal, say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you. Okay. That's a good step in the right direction. All right, now, members' comments, and I'm just gonna go around the board. Miss Joanna?
Actually, I don't think I have any comments.
Okay,
That's unusual.
I wasn't gonna say it. Mr. Savory, you knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. At one of our previous meetings, it was mentioned that there might be a site visit up in North Carver at the Wentworth property with the developer. And I just wondered if there was anything new on that. I've been there in the last month and a half with conservation, but for different purposes.
I'd get on that.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that I
So on that thoughts, for a site visit for you guys, a particular time for anybody that's convenient? I know Mondays you're busy,
Right.
Wednesdays, Thursdays, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays is a mess for me until October 15th.
Well, I mean,
Just saying.
Just
they're,
in case you want to know.
well, I mean, they're running a little bit behind schedule, or what they had told us
Yeah.
with the MEPA. So, I mean, it probably doesn't have to be done in the heat of the summer. I mean, the longer we wait, the further along they'll be.
Yeah, I don't know when we'd be able to get a date anyways. I was just looking if they say, okay, when? Is in the afternoons gonna be convenient for, what's your schedule like? I know it changes.
I have floating days off, so I don't know what my days off every couple
I'll try to
of
get a
weeks,
couple
so
different dates.
Okay.
After 2:30 is good for me.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm usually good in the early, mid-afternoon.
okay.
That works for me.
And I'm out of town every Thursday.
I'm retired.
Well, I am too, but I'm watching a
But I do
grandchild.
auctions though, I do auctions, so I
I'm
could,
busier now
I
than
could
when I
be
work.
busy.
I know.
I heard that's gonna happen, so I refuse to do that. Are you all set?
Yeah, yeah.
Miss Sharon, do you have anything?
I met with Joanna. She was very kind to meet with me up at Dunkin' Donuts last week and gave me a very good overview and a very good history of what you've done. And she's obviously the keeper of the records. And I appreciated that very much. I went home and studied some more. So I'd like to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And I think I have a good base going forward.
Wonderful. Mr. Bob?
Two things. One, for the developer, the end user or whatnot, I know he supposedly had a non-disclosure agreement for that, and just wondering if we can get contact information, just to confirm
What?
for the end user, possibly.
I'll ask
Yeah.
who they might have in line.
Yeah,
As far as I know, no one.
yeah.
It's a secret. Hello.
Okay, that he told the neighbors.
Yeah, right.
The other one is, since we really don't have a whole lot going on, to really look at doing something else, giving us something else to do for the town. I still think that Robert's Way is an opportunity that we should continue to look into and move forward with trying to get other boards or committees to do something with that property. There's two properties. I still would like to go forward with that, and at least make sure that the building gets torn down. I mean, from the town meeting standpoint where they put the water in, they've already started putting the water in just after town meeting on the North Carver, Plymouth Street there. Yet that building still stands and it's still a,
Last word I got from the town administrator that was supposedly in process of being done, but I'll check on it again to bring back an update for the town.
Would it be the water you're talking about?
No,
the building on
Buildings
Robert's
in
Way, the
Robert's
old
Way.
Oh, okay.
community
old,
center that
community
is now
center.
is really a dilapidated building that everyone parties
There
in for
was
kids.
something on there that was supposed to be, I kind of got away from it. I think I missed a couple of meetings and I think you brought, or one big meeting you brought that. There's something that's dilapidated, I remember that. And they were gonna
It's a
be taking
community.
some action to knock it down.
It was a community building and it should have been knocked down years and years and years ago.
Right, the
And,
town administrator
No.
who sat on the meeting said they were gonna take some action on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I just wanna make sure that gets done.
Okay.
Okay,
That's it.
thanks, Bob. I don't have anything right now, so I'm in pretty good shape.
Well, just a question then.
Yes.
So moving forward, if there's other things that the like investigating these properties, Michael had said last meeting that some of those might be under the auspices of like the Housing Authority or TOPS or whomever. Would it make any sense to have a meeting with one of them?
It would.
I mean, if you're gonna get the ball rolling,
And I think-
how do we start rolling the ball?
I think that the next step is, and we've kicked Robert's Way around quite a
Yeah.
bit, And out of respect for the members, I believe that the next request should be a meeting with Tops, because it's supposedly that's where they all are.
Yeah, I mean, he was saying like,
So-
you know, there's this hierarchy of, you know, some are over
Yeah.
here and some are over here, and what do we have to do to get them here?
So my request to the town will be, is that we request to have a meeting with the Tops Committee to discuss a possibility of Robert's Way.
Okay.
And I think that Bob has done a lot of work on that, and we keep being told nothing's happening, nothing's being done. I think that just for process, that should be our process, is to go
Right.
and formally request
Stick to the process.
a meeting with Tops
Okay.
and see how it comes back down. We're a separate entity, quasi entity of the town, so we'll do it formally in a letter.
So even to get other committees, whether at the local housing
Well, the local housing
partnership.
partnership, I was asking Stephen if it's possible that we could kick it off, you know, put the group together again. We haven't met since Marlene was here, and I don't know, your response initially was, you had town meeting, you were busy, and I kind of kicked off an email not too long ago to Bruce Mackey, and I haven't really, I copied you on it.
Forgive me, Joanna, this is the
Local housing partnership,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, yeah. There was that state program I had mentioned to you that we were going to aggregate some data and information for. The state had last year allowed some amendments to some of the affordable housing components of 40R, and using our internal staff and our interns, who are exemplary, by the way, we've been able to aggregate some of that data and information. I apologize, I must have overlooked your email, otherwise I would have responded.
No,
But I
that's
don't
fine,
know.
neither has Bud. Maybe it didn't go out, because I wrote a letter to the town administrator looking for $8,700, and he hasn't written back to me either, so. That's, I forgot about that comment, yeah.
Okay. So, next thing is treasurer's report. Joanna,
Okay.
you have the floor, Ken.
Everybody has this here. I think I have it. Oh yeah, Deb sent out the same one, okay. The, takes us through May. The pink is so slow. Here we are, almost near the end of the month, and I thought I could get at least a little bit of June, but it's really not out there at all, so I think I went over this, but I'll gladly do this again. The end of May, the balance for the checking account was $979.19. One check was cash, and that was Susan Hannon. There was a little mix-up. We had given Susan the check, but she hadn't cashed it, so you got a call from Deb Deneen, a little jolt, so she went out and cashed it, thank you. And so that's that only posting. The savings account is $25,135.34. The year-to-date interest on that is $25.43. The urban renewal savings account has a balance of $3,614.53. The interest paid to date has been 44 cents. We haven't had any movement really on that for almost a half a year, actually almost the whole year here. And that's the report.
Okay, entertain a motion to accept.
Motion to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Do I have a second?
No, I just saw a mistake. Valerie Varasso.
Not
That's going to be my
Donovan.
comments. It's Valerie Varasso, not Donovan.
Right.
So it's my fault.
Make that change.
I know, when we
Add it
come
to
to
my
the
motion.
minutes, I will. When we come to the minutes,
Do
I'll
I
be
have a
telling you.
second?
I'll second as amended.
Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor to accept the amended treasurer's report, say aye.
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Bills payable. I have a bill in my hand that was given to me from Comprehensive Environmental, Inc. It came from, it was sent to us from the Director of Operations Management Department, David Seatontoff. It says Route 44 Development LLC,
Oh, wow.
but on the top it says North Carver Water District. I couldn't get with Dave today to find out what it's about, so I'm asking the board to take a peek at it. I'm gonna ask you to formally make a motion to table until we have more information on it, because I'm not gonna pay a bill that I have no idea what it's about.
It says water system on-call services.
Uh-huh.
Where do you see
Here.
that? Oh, I see it. Oh.
Under project?
Yeah, water
All right.
system on-call services.
Do they have water down there?
No idea. Like I said, I have no idea how it ever even came into the URP status and coming to us.
So, that would be my first question is, why did it come to us? Number
Right.
two is,
Was fine.
what does it entail of what it is? And are we taking this out of the urban renewal plan
If it
money? Or-
says URP, it comes out of that.
That's what I
But
wanted to,
I don't know what it's
Yeah.
for, so I just bringing it to your attention. It was given to me for our packets tonight. I can't answer any of the questions, so there'd be no way
Well,
that
so,
I would even
couple questions.
authorize it to.
Who's MPO and who approved EP? Who are these
Okay.
people?
Any idea?
so I make a motion, we table this until we
Yeah,
can get some
yeah.
answers.
Yeah,
Thank you so
exactly.
much.
With
Do
this.
I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion made second to table the bill for environmental and, comprehensive environmental. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Just wanted to do it right. 'Cause I approve. That's all that we have for bills. Minutes of April 10th, 2018. What's the pleasure of the board?
April 10th. Those are the ones Bob gave.
Yeah, those are the ones I didn't send in, oh, sorry.
Well, it's okay.
I
I have some.
apologize again.
I just have a few changes, but they're mostly editing changes. Just editing. April 10th, okay. Item 1 at the very end, next to the bottom, come up a little bit, said Sinclair asked for a motion to accept the report from Valerie Varasso, period. No Donovan now, that's Joanna that said that, so cross that out. It is Valerie Varasso. So cross no Donovan now. And at the last page, Belvin made a motion to pay the bill of
Hold on.
$3. So you got the minutes? You've gone too far?
You said last page.
No, I didn't need, no.
Last page of the minutes.
Last page was the minutes.
All right.
First page, let's try it again. First page of the minutes, item 1. He makes up here, I think you have the same as I. Sinclair, you got this one? Sinclair asked for a
No.
motion to
Right
accept?
there. Right?
Yeah, but down here, Sinclair asked for a motion to
I
accept the
already did
report.
that. See
Oh,
that?
you crossed that out? Okay, fine. Now go to the very last statement on that page,
Yep.
and to Valerie, parenthesis, Varasso, it is no parenthesis, it's Varasso, cross out Donovan. And then you
Okay.
turn the page, item 2, after after the statement motion, it says, more commented to, do we need to add more money to the URA? No, URP. It's called the URP. At the end of that page, item 4, Bob says, the second or third statement, it says, under agreement with Brenda Titus, that's it's just a spelling, capital T-I-T-T-U-S. It's a spelling error.
You lost me there.
Really?
Oh, there it is, yep.
It's a spelling
Yeah.
error. Spelling
Okay.
error. Okay, so let me turn the page. It says, it's Sinclair turned meeting over to Mr. Moore at 45, is that 100 minutes? How does that?
45 minutes
45
into the
minutes?
meeting.
Oh, okay, all right. And then the question I have is, or the change I have, under the second statement here, or third statement, property is not available. I think you want to say property is now available.
Could be.
Yeah,
Want me to go back and look at it first?
yeah, property is now, I mean, you want to let the person know. We are, Mr. Ellis has had no contact.
No, that the property is not available.
Not
It's
available.
not available anymore.
It was taken off the market because we have to go through the other process.
Right.
Oh,
So that is
okay.
correct. That's correct.
Oh, okay, so, all right, so we can't buy it. And then the very last page, another typo. It says here, there are ramifications unlimited in tax revenue. There's an E hanging out there.
Extra E there.
Extra E, we don't need that. And the very bottom, as you show the exhibits, it's Verasso, not Donovan. Other than that, good job, Bob.
All right, as we were going through this, I caught a couple of other things.
Oh, good.
All right. On the second page, item 2, at the very bottom, bills payable, $325 for Valerie Donovan. That should be Verasso,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
assuming.
Thank you, good eyes.
And item 3, Mr. Milanowski's name is misspelled.
Milanowski?
And item 3,
What does it spell? How do you spell it?
it's Milanowski. Milanowski, not Milowski.
Why don't you spell it? How do you spell it?
Milanoski.
Okay, got it.
All right, and then on the next page, in the top paragraph, the 7th line down, there seems to be a couple of disparate figures there. There's a comma, a period, and a percentage sign in the middle of the sentence, the seventh line down. So
Oh, yeah.
that's what I saw.
What did you mean? Nothing
They have
to
an
do
interested
with-
party, nothing to do with her. A percentage goes to her, a penalty. That was all about, all right, how much
Oh,
money
okay.
goes to her. There was a percentage of money, if it goes to her or not, for it. That's what was discussed at that.
All right, then we should probably
And
spell that out.
Spell it
Spell
out.
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spell it out.
I would spell out
So
percentage.
you
So nothing to do
reference
with
it,
her,
that goes to
A comma, a percentage.
What's in here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
goes
A
to Brenda.
percentage goes
Yeah,
Right.
so whatever, what's the normal contract's 5%, right?
7.
7.
7.
Sometimes she's less
Unless
with
you
us. She's
split.
6.
Okay.
I think she's 6 with us. Sometimes she's less. I know she's less.
It's 5%.
Is it
She's
5
5?
with her?
Okay.
I was gonna say 7, geez.
That's kind of a lot. But she does take less.
Yeah, it's 5%.
So we should,
Just insert that if that's what you guys wanna
Do
do.
you want me to make those changes and pass them over to you?
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, I don't have the file, all I have is this, so.
Okay, 'cause I sent it to, I emailed it to both,
Deb,
Deb and
Jill.
Jill. Thank you. So,
I could get
Starting
that
to read you.
from them.
if you want, I'll send it to you too.
It doesn't
Just
matter.
give me your email or whatever for it, for
Do
the
you
town,
want
and I'll send
to
it.
rattle it off to you?
Huh? No, just,
Okay.
we'll get it afterwards.
got all your corrections, you're good?
yeah. So I'll make a motion that we approve the April 10th, 2018 RDA meeting minutes as amended.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. Any other discussion?
I won't be voting.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those abstaining?
I wasn't here, so I guess.
That's okay. Next would be the May 29th, 2018 minutes.
I haven't gone through them. I'm sure they're well written. Can we just like table them till
You
next
can if
time?
you like. Entertain a motion to do that if that's the case.
Well, I'd like to entertain a motion just to table the
You wanna
minutes.
make
To,
You wanna
yeah,
make that motion
I'm making a motion
to table the
to
minutes?
table the minutes.
Thank
to-
you.
I'll
Do I have a
second
second? Thank you. Motion made and seconded to table the May 29th meeting minutes so people can review them. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next meeting. What is the pleasure for everybody? We are on the third Tuesday, right?
That would be the 17th, I believe. July 17th.
July
And I'm
17th.
good for that.
Okay, no problem with me either. Bob, you working?
No, I think I'm okay then.
I'm good.
17th.
Sharon?
I'm good.
She's good.
Want to do 6 o'clock too?
6 o'clock
Yeah,
work
that's
out
fine.
for you too?
That's okay with you guys?
Okay, 6 PM.
Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adjourn. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Make a motion to approve July 17th, 2018 at 6 PM for our next meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to set our next meeting for 7/17/18 at 6 PM. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 6:42. Thank you, everybody.